Hey everyone, it's Mason at the Stetsonville Public Library, and on my snow day, I decided to decorate some ornaments that Carla got from Northland Outlet, with some other stuff from Northland Outlet and stuff from our craft closet. So I've got paint, glitter, streamers, little paintbrushes, decorative sand, Mod Podge, tissue paper, and pom-poms! The first ornament I wanted to decorate was one with the two kinds of decorative sand. Here you can see me struggling because the mouth on the ornament was pretty tiny. I definitely recommend having some sort of funnel if you want to avoid making a big mess. I tried to make a funnel out of tissue paper, and my kitty cat Noodle, who you're about to see, wanted to help, but he actually ended up hitting the pause button on my laptop. While I wasn't recording, I realized that the tissue paper funnel also wasn't working, so then I decided to use a little cup with a pour spout on it instead. Sometimes you just have to be innovative, think outside the box, so that you don't have to go to town and buy a funnel when it's super cold outside. To my disappointment, mixing the two different kinds of decorative sand didn't work too well, and the big pieces kinda got lost among all the really little ones. I think it would work better if you mixed different sands that were the same size, made different colors together. Also, the sand made this ornament really heavy, really fast, so I would recommend that if you want to do this, you figure out what you're going to hang it from first, and make sure that that can handle the weight of the ornament. I think this would be really cute if there was some kind of little figurine in it to put into the ornament with the sand, kind of like a sand version of a snow globe, but I didn't have anything like that at home, so you just have to use your imagination. The second ornament I was trying to make is one with paint and glitter. Here you can see me pouring the glitter in first. Kind of made a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. And then pouring in some red paint. And then I started to shake and spin the ornament around to distribute the paint evenly. I could kind of tell right away that this wasn't going to have the glitter paint final product that I want, but I'll check in again on it tomorrow when it dries. Because my second ornament didn't have the effect I wanted, I decided to do the third one with Mod Podge and just straight glitter. You can use any kind of glue for this. I would actually recommend using something more runny than Mod Podge so that you can swirl it around inside of the ornament. I just did my best to brush the thick Mod Podge onto the inside of the ornament where I could reach, and then I poured the glitter in after it. And then shake, shake, shake to distribute that over the inside of the ornament. This is also one I want to look at a little bit more once it's dry because of how white the Mod Podge looks, but I already like how it's turning out. I missed recording the first part of this ornament, but overall my hope was to create a pour paint effect by pouring different colors of paint into the mouth of the ornament and helping it glide around inside. By letting it dry a little bit between each color, the paints didn't totally mix, and I got this cool marbled effect. If you do this kind of ornament decorating, I recommend periodically coming back to it over the course of the day and turning it over so that the paint keeps moving around until it dries, instead of all pooling in one spot inside. If you want to keep parts of it see-through, you totally can. I just wanted to cover up the majority of the heart. Next up, I've seen people make a stained glass effect before from tissue paper and a clear glue, so I thought I'd give it a shot. First I cut up the tissue paper and the streamers, because they're kind of the same texture, into tiny pieces so that they'd be easy to grab after I'd coated the ornaments in Mod Podge glue. So I coated the whole ornament, and then I started pressing the paper pieces against the ornament, and I tried to keep the colors pretty evenly distributed instead of having big blocks of red or white or pink. Then you'll add another layer of glue or Mod Podge over the entire thing, over the top of the paper. This takes a little while, and you'll probably get kind of sticky from the glue, so make sure you wash your hands before you move on to any other craft. And lastly, while the stained glass ornament was still wet, I went ahead and I dipped it into the glitter that I had dropped earlier, just to prevent waste and to add some extra sparkle to the ornament. Then for our last design, I wanted to do something fun with these pom-poms and paint the outside of one of the hearts. The pom-poms were a good bit larger than the opening of the ornament, but they were pretty easy to pop in with the help of a brush. If you try this, be sure not to force them in if any of the pom-poms are too resistant, because you don't want to break the ornament in your hands. Once it was full of pom-poms, I started to paint the outside. Because these are glass ornaments and I tried to use this pearly metallic paint I started with, it wasn't really covering what I wanted it to. Sorry if you hear jingling, my cat is helping me out. Thanks, Doris. So like I said, the paint wasn't really covering what I wanted it to, and that's just because of the finish of the paint. so I mixed it with a matte finish paint for more coverage. So here's what it looks like now, and I'll check in all of them when they dry. Alright, it's the next day, and let's check on our dry ornaments. Starting with the glitter ornament, the Mod Podge didn't dry totally clear, which is weird to me, but I think there wasn't enough air inside of the ornament for that to happen. Next time I'll use a clear glue and keep the top off the ornament so that it'll dry better. It's still pretty. The paint and glitter ornament really didn't look much better once it was dry because you couldn't see the glitter inside except in this empty patch with no paint, but the paint looks really good and vibrant, so I'm going to call that a success. The paint/pom-pom ornament looks good, but the paint on the outside dried kind of chalky, unlike the hearts with the paint inside, and I think that's because of the matte finish on the paint. I could add a glossy clear coat to the outside of this to liven it up, or just hang it so that the clear side with the pom-poms is the side that's facing you, because that looks pretty neat. Alright, and we'll just look at our sand ornament for a second. I don't know how I feel about this one. Like I said, it is pretty heavy, but I think it would be neat to pop a little figurine in on top of the sand like a little snow globe, and then as long as you kept it upright, that figurine would probably be lighter than the sand and stay sitting on top of it. I think the stained glass ornament turned out to be my favorite. It looks so eye-catching in the sunshine. I accidentally left a couple of clear patches that you can see, but it would be so easy to slap some more glue or Mod Podge down, and then more tissue paper and more glue on top to complete that whole effect. But here it is in my super bright, snowy window looking over my patio, and I like the glitter that I added to it. I think that looks really nice, and you could sprinkle it over it more evenly if you wanted a more even finish. And then last is our pour paint/marbly painted ornament. I think this one looks really great, and it would be really fun to do with a bunch of different colors. And if you like how you can see straight through it in some spots, or if you like how it looks where you can see the sun coming through, it's not quite so dark, the sun can shine right through just one layer of the paint. That looks really nice as well. Well, I hope you had fun watching me make these ornaments today. If you've got some free time in these cold weeks, head to the dollar store or Northland Outlet and pick up some of these supplies. What kind of ornament was your favorite? What would you have done differently? Have a great day!